Alright, so now we're going to move on to the second part of this video, where we're going to give awards out for the games, which we're going to do the same categories that we did last year, which are going to be most anticipated, most original, best co-op, best indie, best soundtrack, best visuals, best gameplay, best story, and best overall.
I can tell you what had the worst co-op. Star Fox Zero.
Yes.
That was so lame.
Yes. Yes.
I was like actually offended by that.
Yeah. Let's move on to most anticipated, and I'm gonna have to give this kind of a split thing between Star Fox Zero, because one, I'm such a huge fan, but I think the #1 spot is obviously No Man's Sky.
For me, it was either. Yeah, no, it was No Man's Sky.
Like, I mean,
also, yeah, that was just.
This game promised so much and it delivered so little.
It had a lot of promise, but
I mean, there's nothing like it, and the only reason I didn't return it was that, I mean, it's such a like marvel for games. Like, whoever thought that we would get this far?
Yeah, it is huge, and it is still like a really impressive like oh, look what we can do in the 21st century with technology.
This game is a universe. Like, it is the size of a universe, and it is incredible that we've come that far.
Did you see that video of the guy who walked like all the way around?
He walked an entire like. It took him like
that's dedication.
It took him like 4 weeks or something.
What?
And like he posted this thing on Twitter afterwards. Like, he's like, it was my, like, I forget everything he said, but at the end he was like, it was my hell. Like, just like drab like nothingness as he walks along.
Ugh.
But yeah, I think we're definitely agreed. No Man's Sky was our most anticipated.
Even our brother Ryan would agree.
Yeah. I convinced him to get it, and then like the day after, he texted me and was like, "Alright, if you ever want to come over and get kicked in the butt with a $60 virtual foot, you can come play No Man's Sky."
He had something wrong where like his ship got stuck in like the space underneath of a map where there's really nothing existing or programmed for there. But like he got stuck there, and he would try to take off, but he couldn't.
Yeah. So I felt really bad because like I convinced him to buy a $60 game, but it was a big letdown.
Yeah. It was.
Next up, most original. I'm gonna have to go with Overwatch.
It's the only actual original one we have here. All these are based off of series, except for
like ReCore.
Yeah. Pretty much all.
Thanks.
All these are based off of other
Yeah. I
IPs.
I'm more talking about like gameplay-wise, or gameplay. It's not even the gameplay. Like, the gameplay of this has been done before. But what makes it so special is the characters and like how they interact, the lore behind them, and that's what really makes it original. Like, I've never really seen a game where the characters are like have this much lore behind them.
And you would never like find out all of it unless you like had every combination of characters like next to each other. Like
or if you read all of it.
I was playing as Farah, and she yelled out to Reinhardt like, "Oh, I had a poster of you on my wall."
I remember the poster. My hair was amazing.
That's pretty good, Reinhardt.
Thank you. I was like, wow, I actually just did that. But I'm thinking about getting my first tattoo, and for a long time I was thinking about getting a tattoo of the Deadeye logo, and underneath it said, "You know what time it is."
Yeah, yeah.
But I decided against that. But
that's a shame.
I had to go with the Bulbasaur. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing like it as far as character-wise goes. I mean, there's no development, but the characters are cemented so well.
It was, I don't know, it was kind of like left field for Blizzard.
Absolutely.
For Blizzard, it was.
This was like the first game in like, what, 20-some years, like close to 20 years or something like that. I mean, the other ones were like Diablo and World of Warcraft. And do they make StarCraft?
I don't know that much.
I can't remember.
Those kind of games.
I really don't know, but this was unlike anything. And Diva's my girl.
Lucio. Lucio's the life for me.
Lucio's your waifu?
Oh, yeah. Nah, Farah.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's Diva. Next up, best co-op. And
I don't remember any of these games having co-op.
I'm going to give it to Overwatch again. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Overwatch. I actually met a lot of people online, especially like, I remember this one guy, I was attacking, so I was waiting for the doors to open.
Mm-hmm.
He was McCree, I was McCree. He came up, and we're waving hi at each other through the door. And then as soon as I left, I like went around the sneaky back road, and I hear him come up behind me. So I throw around, and I see him wave hello, but I throw my flashbang. So I'm like, is he gonna attack me? What's he gonna do? So as soon as he comes out of it, he's just like, hello, and I'm like, hey. So we just hung out the entire match, and like, you have so many stories like that. Like, I met so many like online friends through it, but I have a good number of friends who play it. Even, you know, they don't know him, but our cousin Bobby.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We started talking about it during Thanksgiving.
That was a lot of fun. I'm not like a social person, especially for some reason family parties I don't function well, but like having like something like that to talk about is a lot of fun.
And it's just like when you find like nowhere near enough people play this game. And it's like every time you just like make a joke about it, and you're like,
it's a very
you play
like,
Overwatch?
Small, like very like I don't know. It's a smaller community than I thought.
I've tried to convince like 20 people to buy it, and nobody will do it. But it's just like when you meet that other person, like, you play Overwatch? You play Overwatch?
My friend Tyler from work mains as May.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Hanzo, and I was like, unfriend him now. Hanzo is trash.
I can't even remember all the games I played, dude.
Well, oh yeah, Wolf Among Us was like so many years ago. But for my best indie, it's actually a game called Alone with You. And this is by a guy named Benjamin Rivers. Copyright. But yeah, Benjamin Rivers. He also made a game that I really enjoyed called Home, which was like an hour and a half long.
I remember you raving about that.
Yeah. It was like an hour and a half long horror game that you really get to choose how it goes along. So I remember I was babysitting one night, and I had to be there for like 3 hours after the kids went to sleep, and I was like, maybe I should just get a new game. So I downloaded that, played it, was amazed. And so he recently came out with a new one called Alone with You, and it's a sci-fi survival romance.
Sci-fi survival.
So it has you like exploring the world, finding things to build your ship so you can leave this colony because you're the last survivor. Meanwhile, you are gathering information about these characters who were like key to the ship. Like, you have the guy who knows about the engines, you know, have the girl who knows about the life support, and you can gather information about them and then talk to them in the hollow chamber, and then it's like a dating system through there where you pretty much fall in love with the holograms, which is, you know, a little weird. But
a little empty.
Yeah. And they made the character that you play as, like, you never see their face, so, you know, whoever's playing, this is you. Like, you don't have to be like, I'm stuck being a guy, so I can only date the two girls.
Like gay relationships?
Well, I mean, you don't know what relationship you are. Or you don't know what gender you are.
Yeah, I didn't even think about
that. And that was the best part, because it's like, you can just make this character whatever you want. So I highly recommend it. I think it's cheap. I think it's like $6 or something like that.
Well, what's it on?
Vita.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
Is it download only?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody get a Vita. Not really. Don't do it. Don't do it. I kind of regret doing it.
That's a sinkhole.
See, the way I like to look at it is, the title was Golden Abyss, and that's a perfect name for...
I still haven't actually played Golden Abyss. I'm like a huge Uncharted fan, and I still haven't played Golden Abyss, and I still haven't played 4.
No, but Golden Abyss is the perfect name for the Vita. It's just a really expensive hole. Next up, best soundtrack.
Doom. I say Doom right away.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Doom. Doom was actually in my review of it, which like only 30 people watched. In my review of it, I said one of the best parts about this was the soundtrack, especially in the music in Hell, where it's like the choir in the background with the electric guitar.
That was so cool.
I love it. Everyone should look it up. I think it's Gates of Hell, is it called?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Or like Seas of Lava, Seas of Fire, or something.
It's something
like
very Doom-like.
Yeah. E1 D1. But yeah, that was honestly the best part of the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give another like runner up to Destiny. Like I said, every time it faded out, like you really heard the music, and it was like, no, it's not fair. That's why it's a runner up. Another one is the battle music for Final Fantasy 15. It had another, you know, the guitar, but it had piano. It was really good. You should listen to it. And it had Florence and the Machine. I like Florence and the Machine.
How's the Pokemon soundtrack so far?
Good, not great. Really not memorable at all.
That's just upsetting.
Which sucks because it had amazing music up to Gen 5. And after Gen 5, it was just like, eh.
I don't even remember Gen 5 music. The music that sticks out most in my head is Gen 3 and Gen 1.
They all stick out. Gen 4 actually had probably my favorite soundtrack.
I played like one game of Gen 4 and
You should play Gen 4 through again because it's actually, it's the most difficult, in my opinion.
No, I remember that, yeah.
I tried so hard to beat Cynthia, but I did it. Jewels.
Guy's pretty up there, just like the first 10 minutes you actually play it. There's just like so much awe and wonder.
Is that your final vote?
Yeah, definitely. I think No
Man's Sky.
As much as I really hated it, No Man's Sky was just like one of the most jaw-dropping visual games. Like, it wasn't like super high fidelity or anything, but the colors on like certain worlds that had like super rich colors,
especially like water planets, were really interesting.
Yeah, and especially if you went underwater and you could see like pink plants and
that was really cool.
That was probably my favorite thing.
And I like it because it was like a little minimalistic. Like the designs of a lot of things, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot.
I like minimalism, but I'm actually going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to give best graphics to Gravity Rush because I mean, the Vita version looks great, especially on the OLED screen. Like it's a little jagged, a lot of the colors are faded, which I mean is good for the watercolor, but not to a point where it's not good. Gravity Rush Remastered smooths out all the edges on like the character models, on the world, and it just like it increases the what's the right word?
Fidelity?
The vibrancy. Like the colors are so much more vibrant, even though it's not even on an OLED screen.
I remember playing it on the Vita and thinking it was just kind of a little like drabby.
It kind of like a Gears of War kind of thing where everything was like green and black. But yeah, this looks so much better. I can't wait for the second one. I think it actually comes out soon.
Really?
I have a friend who's really into this. And he's like, I can't wait for the second one! It's like $10 off on Amazon now, so I'm going to start buying it. I'm going to buy it.
Overwatch.
There's just so much to do. Like, I really wanted to give it to Doom, but after, like, the weapons are all kind of similar, and the parkour... In Doom? Yeah. I mean,
the parkour was lackluster. I mean,
it's all still strafing, but, like, the platforming was decent.
It's got really solid shooting mechanics. Like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, and I think that the platforming in it was as good as like a first-person shooter is ever going to get. Even better than like, you know, Black Ops 3, which I really liked. But what is it? 22 characters now with Sombra.
Yeah, no.
22 characters that are so different, and it takes so long to master each one of them.
I love So I main as Lucio because no one's ever a support except for me.
I main as Zenyatta.
So it's like learning that character, and then my main offense is Pharah. So it's like going back and forth between two drastically like different playing characters. You have so much variety.
Yeah, and it's like you can just switch on the fly. Like I'll be playing and I'll be like, all right, we need better defense. Switch to Bastion. Yeah. We need like mobile defense. So switch to Diva. Like it's amazing. I'm just interested for the cameras and everything. Who's all your mains? Like who's your top characters?
Okay. In support, it's Lucio. In tanks, it's Roadhog. In defense, it's I want to say Junkrat or Junkrat. And then in offense, I've been Pharah. Pharah's my favorite.
Okay. So support, my main support is definitely Zenyatta, but I dabble in Lucio just because you can heal so much more.
Heal literally everyone.
But I like being Zenyatta because you still have that attack power.
But you have the speed boost.
Right, but it's just the attack power that Lucio does not have.
Yeah, the only Lucio is useless offensively.
Yeah. The only way you can really take people down is with the boop.
Yeah, using the I don't know
sound
what they call
wave.
it. It's just like your gun like puts out like a big kind of shotgun wave that pushes
people away.
Everyone back.
And I had this one guy on Volskaya Industries where this is going to be nerdy, but on Volskaya Industries, you know when you go up to the right and you go up that platform?
Oh, on the first objective or second?
Second.
Yeah.
I had a Lucio that was sitting right there, and every time I would run out, he would just knock me off. Yeah. So what I would do is I would just go up there, and I'd just throw my flashbang out, and I'd turn around the corner and just fan the hammer.
Nice.
Alright, so my name's Zenyatta. I dabble as Lucio, like I said. Tanks, I've been trying to use Reinhardt, but I'm really not good at him.
Reinhardt was the first character I played as, and sometimes if I'm not feeling Roadhog, I'll go Reinhardt.
Yeah, he's one of the more like approachable ones. Then D.Va, and especially with her new buff that she got, she's really, really viable.
Yeah, overly viable, you could say.
I think she's great.
I ran into a sudden problem when playing as Pharah. If there's like a D.Va and if the D.Va kills you as Pharah, like just drop Pharah, be someone else. I was like, I'd never seen this before until like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was up in the sky, and a D.Va comes flying at me from the ground, and they got me like out of midair. Like I thought I was untouchable.
Awesome. Okay, defense wise, it's really just Bastion. I tried using Mei.
I've probably played like an hour of Bastion. I really didn't like it.
He's probably like my third most played character, or fourth, right after D.Va.
Okay.
It goes like McCree, Pharah, Zenyatta, D.Va. No, D.Va, Zenyatta, Bastion. Yeah, I really don't like any other defense characters. A little bit of Widowmaker here and there.
I've never been able to get into her.
I just like her mostly her Venom.
I think that Junkrat. I don't know. I think that Junkrat. He is his main attack gun sucks, unless you are actually defending. Like he is he is
a really good defensive. Like you can just really like keep on laying into this one like area so they know they can't come down that hallway. And attack wise, I've been trying to get into Sombra. You know, it's still at the point where people like always play as Sombra, so it's hard to get as it.
Yeah, I've noticed that as tank characters or as Lucio, being hacked by Sombra is the worst thing on this.
Especially if you're like a Pharah. And if you can sneak around...
If you're stuck on the ground
and you
for a minute.
Yeah, you're dead. You're dead if you were on the ground as Pharah.
I was killed by Mei as Pharah today because Sombra.
Speaking of Pharah, her buffs make it so she can stay in the air like all the time.
Yeah.
Unless you get hacked. And it's amazing.
What
it
is it
makes
like,
her 10 times more viable. 35%.
Yeah, 35% boost to her normal like holding down X.
And her maximum... her minimum damage has been increased by 13%. And minimum knockback has been reduced to 0%. So it knocked back less, so you can keep shooting in one spot and do more damage.
That is really nice.
Yeah. So Pharah is another one of my mains, and then McCree is my main. Like he's my go-to guy.
He thought he was gonna get a tattoo of McCree, so
I've had so many times where like the objective's about to go in like 3 seconds, and I just charge in with like everyone running, and I go like 2 hits, maze down, like. I turn and I'm just like so accurate, like they're running and I'm like, we're so lame. But yeah,
I think
definitely
this video is becoming Overwatch discussion.
Yes, okay. Away from Overwatch. Next up is story, and really the only thing that I played with an actual story.
No, it was definitely No Man's Sky.
Oh, it was definitely Star Fox Zero. No. I'm gonna give it to Final Fantasy 15. The story itself was kind of but the way that the characters interact and the character development was amazing. You really need to play it. You really need to play it. I'll try it. I put 30 hours into this game. But I've heard that if you play just the story, you can get done in like 12.
Really?
But yeah, it's mostly just because of the interaction with the characters and the character development is why the story is so good. I actually care about a lot of it. I really didn't have a reason for me to want to go through it. I was like, I'll just play through the story because it's, the thing to do.
I'm a side quest fiend. I love side quests.
This is the game for you. Like, there's so many great side quests in this. Especially, you'll understand now, but when you get to Lestalem, do all of the quests for the guy who wants you to take pictures. He pays you so much gil.
Okay.
And next up is best overall. And I think I know what you're going to say.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I think you're going to say Overwatch.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm actually going to say Doom.
Really? Overall bet? Even though you gave gameplay to Overwatch?
Doom? Maybe it's Overwatch. It's so hard. Like, I've been struggling with this question for weeks, months. Like, ever since I started playing Overwatch, I'm like, which is better? Like, which is a better shooter? I mean... You have... They're two very different types. Like, Doom is a story-based, like, arcadey shooter, when Overwatch is, like, a very team-driven, objective-based shooter. And, I mean, they're two... Like I said, two very different things. But it's just... They're both so good at what they do. Like, they're both like top. Like you can't beat Doom as far as like like modern reincarnations of shooters. Like I played Shadow Warrior, which is like an older PC game that was redone. It just doesn't stand up. It does not stand up at all. And like I said, I prefer those strafing shooters over like Call of Duties. Even though I really like the technicality that the Call of Duty has, there's nothing like a strafing shooter.
Technicality is sitting in a corner now.
Technicality... Listen. I am not a camper. But it's really a toss-up between Doom and Overwatch for me. I really, like, I cannot decide.
No, I'm all in Overwatch. It's very hard for a video game to capture my attention, and Overwatch is like one of the rare games that does.
Mm-hmm. We need to have a video just talking about Overwatch. Like, just discuss. We need to start a podcast. That's actually something I've been thinking about a while.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, so if you guys want a podcast, let me know in the comments, please. It's something that I have thought about a lot.
I'd have to be less awkward for that.
Yeah. And I'd like to get more people in on it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So those were all of our game awards. Let me know what games you got, where you agreed or disagreed with our lists. Let me know who your main in Overwatch is. Please.
We're very interested.
I love Overwatch. So how many hours do you have logged in it?
Not as many as you. What level are you? You're like level 50 something?
I'm level 67, and I have 60 hours logged.
I think I just hit like level 30 today.
Okay. Yeah, so you've played a lot less, but my friend who got me into it, she is at level 120.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, dang. And she has like twice as many wins as I do.
Oh.
But
yeah, I have like more deaths than eliminations.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys.
I think I have more deaths. I usually have a pretty high average. Especially when I play as McCree or Pharah. Whenever I play as Pharah, I never get less than like 15 eliminations.
Really?
Yeah. I think my max solo kills was like 25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I felt particularly impressed. But all right, let's stop talking about Overwatch.
We'll be here for hours.
All right, thank you so much for watching, and like I said, in the new year, I'll be back with tons more videos. I really am going to try to stick to a schedule like I was supposed to, and I'll talk a little bit more about why I haven't been making videos recently. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.